Hello again, everybody. Kia ora. This is Lynn, the Kiwi American, here, sending you another video update on my life. And this time I'm going in depth talking about why I chose to move to New Zealand in the first place. Because I know it's been a bit of a topic of debate amongst my friend group, and I'm sure people are wondering, like, well, if you're an American, why are you so far from home? Um, so let me paint you a picture. Let me tell you the story from as far back as I can remember. Like most people turning 30 in the next couple of years, I grew up with Lord of the Rings. And when I asked my dad where it was filmed, because everything in it looked so flippin' beautiful, he said New Zealand. So this was right around when you could have a computer in your house, and that's what we did. So on the computer that we had at home, I went and I Googled New Zealand, and I was like, wow, this place is gorgeous. This place is beautiful. I never really even thought that I would leave the country at that point. I mean, I was 10, 9 years old, give or take, so it's understandable. But I went to Europe for the first time when I was 17, and immediately the American dream crumbled, and I woke up from it. I was disillusioned. I knew then and there that I'm not very American in the way I view the world, with my view on culture, my view on economics, finance, lifestyle in general. I am not like a lot of people around me in America. And at the age of 17, I started researching places to expatriate, to still have a happy life, a quality of life, make good money, make good friends, good people, etc. And when I looked at lists of places to expatriate, 9 out of 10 times, New Zealand would be number one or two or three on that list. Ironically enough, Svalbard was also on that list, which I've been to, and it's very cold, very dark for exactly half the year, very bright, sun never sets the other half of the year. So I knew that wasn't really going to be an option for me to go up there. There's also just not an economy for most things up there besides tourism and hospitality, quite frankly. And I work in the public health sector, so I knew that wasn't really going to be an option for me. But I've pulled up a list here from PSS International to help guide me in my conversation with you about reasons why I've moved to New Zealand. At the age of 17, I knew I wanted to leave. And I went through a lot of mental health issues and heartbreak. I have a mood disorder, and I have depression and anxiety, and that's made it very hard throughout my life sometimes to make friends, not get stuck in my own head, to keep a rational train of thought about a lot of things. And like I said, from this episode, for every episode, I want to be as candid as I possibly can with you about what's going on in my life in general, because it's only fair that if you are watching this, that you get that information, because maybe you have some of the same problems, maybe you have some of the same stories. Maybe you will be watching this and go, oh my god, that's me, I identify with that. And no more I could wish you than that, is that you find your own peace in your own time, in your own world. And quite frankly, there's not a lot of Americans in New Zealand. Um, as of 2022, there were only about 1,300. As of this year, there's only about 3,600. And considering the population as of 2022 was 5.2 million, and there might be a few more now, but relatively small. So the island has a population smaller than Norway and smaller than Sweden. Um, it makes sense to sort of go into every factor that I can in vivid color. And I think there might be one or two other Americans that are on YouTube talking about their experiences moving to New Zealand. And maybe eventually I'll start doing more quality production on videos, but for right now, I just want it to be as raw of a vlog as I possibly can with why I moved here. So One of the first reasons why I decided I wanted to move here was the landscapes. If you Google New Zealand and you just scroll through the pictures, the culture is beautiful here. The surroundings are beautiful here. Like, you land at Christchurch Airport and you look outside the window of your plane, it's flat on one side and some of the most gorgeous mountain views you'll ever see on the other side. It is magical. It is nothing short of magical. Um, the lifestyle, people are very laid back here. People are very friendly. People are very easy to talk to, and genuinely, even more than British people, they are very fascinated with other cultures and other, specifically Americans. Um, they're aware that more and more Americans are finding solace in New Zealand, and rightfully so. Their country is beautiful, and their country is set up for immigration to be very friendly, easygoing, and lifestyle to be very good here. So people enjoy some of the best work-life balance in the world here. Even as I was graduating high school, I realized the idea of grinding my fingers to nubs to only have 2 weeks of vacation a year was ridiculous. And when you use those vacation weeks, if you use those vacation weeks, typically your employer is telling you the whole time, like, we miss you, we need you, the company's falling apart without you, when you're coming back and helping us. And that's just not really my vibe. I've recognized that there's so much to see in the world, and even with spending 9 days in Europe, I recognized already there was just no way I could see and do as much as I wanted to with 9 days. 9 days of Europe, and I felt like I was rushing the whole time. The only time I was really relaxing is when I was sleeping on the bus, quite frankly. Um, so in New Zealand, you have a good work-life balance. Usually most people only work between 30 and 35 hours a week. Most people do have a nice pension, a nice salary. Superannuation and KiwiSaver is a lot better than 401ks are in America. Um, and you typically start at, I think, a mandatory 24 days of paid vacation every year, and that's not including holidays. So if you go from Waitangi Day, which is the treaty day, and you extend for an extra week or two, um, you can then come home, work for a week, and then take off for Anzac, which is their Memorial Day, and then you can extend for another week or two, and you can go and see and do a lot of stuff around Asia. And a lot of people here have passports because you need to get off the island, and it's right on the doorstep of so many things in Asia. Um, so moving forward, this list talks about the high quality of life, um, the friendly, welcoming people. It's very family friendly. Like, you will always feel very safe here. Culture wise, it is like the perfect blend of their own culture mixed with British culture and American culture. So, from all the things I've done in the past 3 days alone, I don't really feel like I left home, aside from the fact that I drive on the right side of the road, they drive on the left. Um, like, the accents are very homogenized between these cultures as well. The fact that I work in healthcare and I can treat patients the way they deserve to be treated without Medicare breathing down my neck saying you can't do that or this, really wonderful. There is always going to be subsidized, free, subsidized, and partially subsidized healthcare that is accessible and cheap, if not mostly, if not completely free to people accessing services here in New Zealand. Um, and that really stood out for me as well, because you shouldn't have to struggle to afford to live. Now, the next thing is, if you're an American, your skills are going to be in demand, usually simply because you're an American. But there are a lot of job roles that need filled in New Zealand right now. They are expanding rapidly. They're trying to build their infrastructure up. And your mindset matters, your ideas matter, you as an individual matter, and you're not just a cog in a corporate machine. And that was one thing that really turned me off of America. Is there were jobs where I would put in a 2 week notice, and a day later, sometimes the same day, my job was listed to be filled. Like, you are never an individual, you are a in a system like that. New Zealand is very ecologically friendly, very eco-minded. Most of our energy here is biodegradable and renewable. Um, it is a very progressive society, very forward-thinking. Their response to the pandemic was to stay home, binge watch television, um, buy adult entertainment items, and just drink and eat and hang out. And they were the first country to have no COVID cases because they just respond very forward thinking and progressive to societal changes, and they're up with it. The climate is very mild year round. I don't like really hot, I don't like really cold. I'm sitting here in a jacket right now just because I don't feel like turning the heat on, quite frankly. But like, it's winter time here right now, and it still feels like fall, and that is wonderful. That is what I like. That's what I'm after. If you need snow, you can go inland to the Southern Alps, and you'll have a line of snow in about a month. Come June, July, you'll have snow on the Alps. Um, and if you need to experience like a tropical Polynesian vacation, like you're in Hawaii again, or in Vanuatu, Niue, or Fiji, or wherever else, Solomon Islands even, which is more Micronesia, but still, you can just go up north and you have tropical climate. Um, the cities are very, very vibrant. Walking around Christchurch has felt a lot like home to me. It feels a lot like small town America. Um, and Kiwis, yeah, that's another good one. Kiwis have a really good sense of humor, and they don't take life too seriously. And I mean, I've gone through a lot with losing my dad very young, and mental health, like I said, and just life circumstances in general have been unfavorable at times. But the Kiwis always look on the darker side of life through a brighter lens, and they take everything with a grain of salt. And that is the short list of reasons why I moved to New Zealand. I'm sure that more things will come about as I go along, but I mean, when I heard about all of these reasons why people move here before I'd ever set foot in this country, I knew that I would have no problem packing up 4 suitcases and just hauling butt across the globe, and literally moving as geographically far away from York, Pennsylvania as possible. It does not feel like I'm that far away because I'm still in constant contact with my friends and family, but I know that life quality is going to be so much better here once I settle in. It's only day number 3 right now, making this video, so I'm sure there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs, but that's life. So hopefully, if you are also thinking about moving to New Zealand, um, this gives you a little bit of hope, aspiration, stuff to look forward to, familiarity. You can put a name with a face, you can reach out and contact me if you find the means to do so, and I'm happy to answer questions based on my own experience. But that, by and large, is my life so far, and I'm going to cut this video here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next great adventure.